Fat, Drunk, and Stupid, the original and the only. A lot of imitations out there, but we are the only fantasy football show specifically for West Ham fans. So I'd like to thank everybody for showing up. And as part of American Hammers TV, we'd like to welcome you to another episode. Waiting on Cody to come in the show in just a moment. In the meantime, one of the topics we do want to discuss, and I'd like to get him in on this, and hopefully would like to get some folks, chiming in. Actually, if you guys would like to be on the show, we would love to have you. This is the link to join the show, and we're going to put that in the comments as well. Hopefully, you can click on that and join the show as well. One of the things we want to talk about this week is the wild card, whether to play it, whether not to play it. What's your strategy on that? And if you do have a strategy, what is it? Because a lot of people come into it different ways. A lot of people want to wait till December and then hit the reset button. They want to wait just a couple of weeks, see how things are going. And then some just draft really poorly and just say, you know what, screw it, I'm starting all over. A lot of different ways of looking at it. And we're going to, dive into that momentarily. In the meantime, let's check out the standings for our league. And actually, I think Cody's trying to get on here. Let's see. Let's go to the standings for our league real quick. And let's see here. Having some technical difficulties. Here we go. In first place in the American Hammers TV League, Happy Hammers, Jamie Thomas, still had that place last week, still maintaining that position. Liam Richards up a couple of spots into the three hole. Barcelona, one of probably the best names I think is out there, is number 3, and Mind the Gap. T. Beaumont down a couple spots, but still in the top 4 and doing really, really well. Still got some people checking out the nobody's commented right now, but we're getting some folks viewing right now. I'd love to have you again. Please check in right now, and hopefully we can discuss that. Let's go to the relegation zone. These be the bottom 3. And actually, it's kind of deceiving a little bit because we've got 2 people that just joined our league, and really happy to have you. Thank you for coming on. Obviously, we're trying to grow American Hammers TV, and one of this, this is part of it. And we'd like to, thank, and I can't even pronounce these people's names. So we'll have to get with those guys. But the whoever's at 208 just started last week. We actually have somebody else that has joined recently. Clockwork Quack, David Harlow, still kind of struggling in the bottom. So it's definitely something we might need to get David on the show and see if we could help him out. So that's something we'd like to do. Let's see here. What else we got? Let's take a moment real quick to thank our sponsors, drinkwaredesign.com. They're in the Dallas area. Amazing mugs. You can get your logo put on them. As you see right here, the American Hammers TV logos, Dallas Hammers, whatever your logo is, these folks make some amazing products. So make sure you check them out. Submit your design, and then you can have whatever you want in whatever frosty, hot, cold beverage you like on drinkwaredesign.com. Make sure you check it out. And again, proud supporters of American Hammers TV. So thanks, thank you very much, you guys, and thanks for everything that you're doing and kind of making this, put out some good mugs. Thank you. So let's go real quick, and I don't know if we're going to get Cody on. I'm trying to find Cody right now. But some of last week's top performers overall. I think, hey, you've got another hammer on the list, which is an amazing Vestergaard from Sheffield United. Alexander Arnold, a lot of people finally, Liverpool keeps a clean sheet. That is what everyone has been wanting. That's what everybody planned at the beginning of the year, and it's actually come to some reality. They actually had a really great game against Burnley. And then Richarlison, 15 points. De Bruyne, 13. Robinson, Sheffield United, 11. Did anybody see that one coming? Jamie Vardy. Everybody's been talking about Mohamed Salah, Sterling, and Vardy's. Jamie Vardy's just kind of laying there, just hanging out. And I think you're really starting to see them play a lot better. And I think he's going to be a valuable person if you want to pick him up. We'll go through some of the transfers in, transfers out in a moment, and taking a look at that. Aguero still there, and one of Cody's picks last week was Tammy Abraham. Kind of one of the things that he said was this is probably the only guy that Chelsea's got that's their scoring option up front, and I really think that's come to fruition. He's been a player that has put points on the board for the last couple of weeks. So again, he would be a great fantasy option if you're looking to in this 2-week bye week international break. If you want to redo your league, or redo your team rather, and you're really starting to evaluate people, he might be a great option at the point total that he's, or the investment that he's at. And waiting on Cody on this. We'll go to the kind of talk a little bit more about the fantasy. Well, as far as the wild card, I mean, that's something we really want to talk about. And again, on the show, if you want to come in, there's the link. Comments, come on in. So let's see here. Let's see what we got. We'll go over some of the top transfers in and out this week. Again, Abraham, what we're talking about, is the number one player transferred in this week. So it's somebody you want to check out. James from Manchester United. A lot of injuries are happening there. He is a great option, and obviously a lot of people think the same thing. De Bruyne, Aguero, Mason Mount, another one, Chelsea, who is getting some points. I know we just talked about Tammy Abraham, but he is another player that would be a good addition to your team. Some of the guys going out, littered with Manchester United guys, Rashford, Wan-Bissaka, Martel. I'd like somebody to comment on Pukki, because a lot of people were talking about him as being, the unicorn, the guy that the amazing guy from Finland that is doing so well, which he is and he was. But I'm very curious what people think about. Did West Ham kind of expose him? And I think what West Ham did in that victory was really not letting him get the ball. I mean, it's kind of like the Michael Jordan rules. I mean, he's going to get his, but if you can either limit everybody else or try to just stop him from getting a pass. I really think that was the key to victory for West Ham. So please, let's comment and see what other folks think about that as well. Let's see here. Now, as far as West Ham, great victory the other day by West Ham, and really like to get the standings up, kind of see where those guys are at, because I think it's pretty amazing where we're at from last year to this year as far as point totals go. Let's see here. Pull up PremierLeague.com and look at the tables right now. Right now, you still got Liverpool, Manchester City. We kind of knew that was what was going to be happening at the beginning of the year. 12 points and 10 points, respectively. Leicester City checking in 8 points. And Crystal Palace, I have no clue how that's happening, is considering those guys really couldn't score, even even get a shot off the other day. Arsenal with 7 points, Everton 7, West Ham at 7 as well in the seventh spot, just lower on point differential. As well, Manchester United. I'm kind of curious what folks' thoughts are if they are going to, continue to struggle the way that they have been. I'd like to see what kind of develops there. And then Tottenham and Sheffield United kind of round out the top 10. As far as players on the injury list coming up, let's check that out real quick. Just released the other day, Wan-Bissaka excused himself from the English national team with some back issues. In addition, see who else? Pogba is out. Chicharito going out leaving during the transfer window. And Lacazette, a couple of notables, but obviously you got 2 weeks to go until the season or until the international break. So with people like Antonio, other guys like that are still on the injured list, but still can come back in short order. Let's see here. So we're going to go through real quick some of the point totals for our league, and we're going to go through the transfer, the wild card real quick, and then we'll kind of see, see what where it leads us after that. Let's see here, our league. Let's go real quick to the talking about the wild card. See if we can get anybody in on that. There's a couple of different ways of looking at the wild card, and that's there's different ways people want to use it. And I think a lot of people are starting to put a poll out, and I think the consensus was that what you want to do is you want to have that poll, or no, I'm sorry, you want to have that wild card out there, and use it after you get a small sample size of what the league's looking like, because a lot of people drafted players based on either their expectations coming to the league or what they did last year, and sometimes those things don't go hand in hand. So what I think the best ways to do it, you can either hold on to that wild card till December, or you can just go ahead and pull the plug right now. That is something that I am going to do now, is really start looking at what players are going to be out there, what players are overperforming based on what we thought that they were going to do, and some of them not just really playing that well yet. So again, it's something, the different ways of looking at this. I would recommend, go ahead and pull in the plug right now. It's, if you've got a chance to improve your team today, take advantage of it. I would highly recommend that. So let's we'll go through a couple more things here and kind of wrap it up and kind of get back to the day of going through our teams and trying to analyze the season as it sits right now. If anybody's got any more anything in the chat room, let's take a look at it. All right, this may be a shortened version here. Having some technical difficulties with a couple of things, so we may have to wrap this up real quick. So again, make sure you use your wild card as soon as you can. If you think that you need to use it because it's to your advantage. Things don't go always the way that you planned, and it's something definitely you want to take a look at and utilize. So again, use as much knowledge as you can. There's a ton of websites out there. Make sure you go to our Twitter page at FDS. That would be Fat, Drunk, and Stupid FantasyShow.com, or rather Twitter. I apologize. And we're going to put as much information as we can out there on that Twitter page, and just really for people's knowledge. I mean, that's really the key thing. We want to give people as much information as they can to be out there. FDS Fantasy Show on Twitter, uploading information every day from other fantasy pundits and as much information as you can out there. So make sure you check that out. Very important to use as much knowledge, as much data as you can to be successful with your fantasy team. So again, very shortened version tonight. So make sure you check us out next Tuesday, and we'll start getting some more information, getting ready for the week coming, and really start analyzing some of those games, some of the matchups, and what where the points are going to be at. So again, thanks for tuning in, and come on, you Irons.